Welcome to Crushing Kayfabe. My name is Jason Garish. Thank you for tuning in. A lot of stuff going on in wrestling world. Didn't have a show last week. Sorry about that, but got a lot of stuff to catch up on. 3 former AEW stars were released. Miro, Malachi Black, and Ricky Starks. With Ricky Starks literally showing up on NXT. I don't know if I think it was the next day, actually, literally. Real happy about that. He deserves to be on with WWE. He's a great talent, very charismatic. I think he's going to do well there. I'd love to see both Miro and Malachi Black back in WWE. I think that would be great. Supposedly there's talks with Black, and that would be interesting. I think he was one of Triple H's guys, so I can see that happening. But very excited about Starks coming to WWE, showing up in NXT. I wonder if they're going to keep him down in NXT for a little while to bring some people up, or I don't know. I mean, either way, he's going to be a good addition to the company. I think it'll be fun. And it definitely deserves it. Really talented guy. In addition, at WWE had some releases of their own. Let's see, Giovanni Vinci, which doesn't really surprise me after the way they repackaged him and then kind of dropped the whole gimmick. It doesn't really surprise me. How this guy managed to get under bad graces, I don't know. I mean, was it just a situation where a guy was just being difficult behind the scenes? I don't know. That would be my guess, because he was, part of Imperium at one time, and just kind of surprised to see that after they put a lot of effort into repackaging him, even though they jobbed him out. Was that a joke? Was that a rib? I don't know. But I'm sure we'll hear about it later on. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I'm happy, but not happy about them. Happy because at least now they can do something. Not happy because I do like those guys. I think they're really talented, and I wish I had done more with them. Isla Dawn was released. There's someone I thought had a lot of potential. I'm kind of surprised that they went that route. Didn't release her tag team partner, though, I don't think. Cedric Alexander, no big surprise there. I didn't even know he was with the company anymore. Watch him show up on AEW as part of the Hurt Business, or whatever they're calling it now in AEW. Elektra Lopez. Nothing too shocking there. Kind of underutilized. AOP. I've got such mixed feelings on this because they just bombed on the main roster. They just blew it on the main roster. These guys should have been monsters. I don't understand how they dropped the ball with this one. And once again, it kind of makes me wonder if there aren't some things going on behind the scenes that some behavior issues that needed to be addressed. And we have Paul Ellering. Not happy. I'm not real happy about that. I like Paul Ellering a lot. Thought he could have been utilized. I mean, the guy's like 70, but I still think he could have been utilized better than what they did. He was good with AOP, at least in NXT. I'm wondering if once that 90 day is up, if they're going to show up on the independents with Ellering as their manager, because he did have a tweet kind of relating to that and hinting at that. So we'll see. It wouldn't shock me at all. Once again, like I said, I do like Ellering. I really do. Blair Davenport, what the heck was the deal with that? I mean, they brought her they had her on television like twice. They brought her up to the main roster. I always thought she was a good talent. I saw her work in AEW. I forget where else, but she seemed like she was going to be a good fit for the company, and boom, they just did absolutely nothing with her. It's like Crave had nothing for her. So that was kind of a shocker in some ways right there. And Sonya Deville. Her contract was not renewed. She was not technically released. She just wasn't welcome back, kind of thing. She's never been the same. Kind of sad. I kind of liked where they were going with this Pure Fusion Collective thing. But that bombed big time. Just not getting over the fans, and Sonya was not really a good mouthpiece for them. That's kind of a sad one. I mean, she seems to be, from all accounts, pretty decent individual. I think the whole incident when she, with the stalker and with Mandy Rose, kind of changed her forever on that. And that's the type of thing that can. I mean, you got some guy showing up at your house with a knife. Yeah, I'd be a little gun shy after that too. But that's a life altering event to say the least. Let's see. Raw, we had opening up with Jey Uso. Decent promo that led to Gunther attacking him from out of nowhere. I guess we know who Jay's gonna pick. Obviously, he's going after Gunther's title, and even announced it afterwards. Surprise, surprise, he's facing Gunther at WrestleMania. We had Liv Morgan and Rodriguez after that versus Damage Control, with Damage Control winning. Raquel, they're really kind of not doing much with, and she's another one that seems like she just, once she got back to the roster, she kind of looks like she hasn't been the same whatsoever. And I wonder if that her autoimmune disorder has taken way too much out of her to ever be that way, which is really big, because I think she had a real high ceiling, a lot of potential there. I was a fan of hers. I thought she was going to do real well. But we had Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley, with Bayley winning. We had a great vignette with Penta, really good vignette with Penta. And by the way, this Raw was in Nashville, and we had, which kind of brings me to the next thing, AJ coming out to the ring and returning, after the Rumble. I didn't realize that he has had 100 matches in Nashville, so it makes sense that he had such a great great welcoming from the fans after he came out. All that time in TNA, obviously, and working in Nashville, kind of cemented him with the fans here. He was interrupted by Dom and Carlito. A real good exchange between them. AJ looks shredded beyond belief. He looks great. Setting up, the thing between AJ and Dom right there. We had an interview with Seth, and with his Cylon sunglasses. It was interrupted by Finn. Who cares? American Made versus the War Raiders was next, and this is about the time that my laptop lost its battery, so I forget what the heck I wrote down here. Let's see. Let me bear with me 1 second here. I'm scrolling through some things. We know Damage Control 1, yada yada yada. So the Lyra versus Bayley match was an Elimination Chamber qualification match. So Bayley's gonna make it to the Elimination Chamber. Let's see. We have more backstage segments. American Made, Creed, quote unquote, our aka the Creed brothers, I should say, versus War Raiders. With the wow, so much stuff going on here. I'm sorry. There's totally wow, I cannot remember who won this match. I'm sorry. It was a DQ, right? College for belt. Yeah, it was a DQ. So the Warriors retained, but obviously is setting up a feud for future matches. Other than that, what else do we have on Raw? CM Punk addressing the Elimination Chamber, doing his thing, gets interrupted by Logan Paul. Punk has a good moment where he compares Paul to Dominic Mysterio. Next, we had the another Elimination Chamber qualifying match with Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio, which ended up having Logan Paul win that. We kind of knew that one was going to happen. I mean, those guys typically have had great matches between them. So I know in the past Logan Paul kind of saved Rey's butt by not letting him splatter his brains on the pavement outside. Great reaction from the crowd in Nashville. Real good having them back. I wish I could have gone to the show. That would have been fun. But Nashville's like 2.5 hours away from here. So, but what else we got? We had SmackDown, obviously, which I believe it or not, I just finished watching. So hopefully it's a little fresher in my mind than everything that happened between the Now and Raw. But SmackDown opens up in Washington, D.C. We had Vic Joseph in for Joe Tessitore. Show starts off with Cody Rhodes, interrupted by Drew. Then Jacob Fatu. Chants? Yeah, sure. Fans were chanting Jacob Fatu's name. They're getting behind this guy. And Solo, just about then Solo arrives. Then after that we have Naomi versus Chelsea Green, with Naomi winning. So she's going off into the Elimination Chamber. Let's see, we had Morrissey Machine Guns being Los Garza. I'm sorry, I'm a big Morrissey Machine Guns fan, and bring them up WWE is just making me realize how small these guys have always been. I hate to say that, man, but now it's just like, if they had brought these guys up 10 years ago, I think it would have been much better when they were younger. But Vince has a thing against small guys, but so it's never gonna happen ever. He didn't like any of the indie darlings, so next we had a match with Miz versus LA Knight. With LA Knight defeating the Miz. No big surprise or shocking thing there. R-Truth versus Carmelo Hayes, with Hayes defeating R-Truth. No big shocker there either. But that's a good matchup between those guys. I'd like to see R-Truth get more involved. I mean, if there's a guy that can, carry the is charismatic, I should say. What the heck is going on? I have a red spot in my face. I'm going to have to take a look at that. I don't know if that's just a shadow or what, but we had Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax after that. I'm surprised they blew this off this quickly. I mean, it ended up in a DQ with Stratton winning by DQ, but this isn't over. I'm wondering they're going to prolong this anymore and have some kind of payoff, but it's probably going to be after WrestleMania, since Charlotte picks Tiffy, calls her out and says that the Queen picks Tiffany, picks you. So you kind of had a Charlotte looming over the body of Tiffany after she got beaten up in the Nia Jax match. After that, we had the Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman versus Damian Priest. This is pretty much exactly what you expected, with just a brutal monster beating monster type of thing. Everybody in this looked pretty good. They did what they should. Just like I say, a brutal match. You knew you knew that Strowman wasn't winning this. You knew he wasn't going to the Elimination Chamber. You knew that it was either going to be Fatu or Priest, and it's not shocking that Priest ends up winning this via pinfall. We had some interference, so because it's a three-way match, there is no disqualification. So we had Solo come out, we had the Bloodline come out, Tama Tonga come out, with Tama Tonga holding. Who was it? I know he at one point was holding Cody Rhodes. That's right, because Cody came out for the save with the, for Priest and whatnot. But but we had Tama Tonga holding Cody Rhodes and Solo about to hit Rhodes with a thumb, and right as he was about to hit him with that, Rhodes ducked under, and Solo ended up taking out Tama Tonga. So we have, of course, Fatu sees this while he's in the ring, comes out and confronts Solo. So there's more disarray within the new Bloodline. So, excuse me. So we've got that, and then we've got, so are we going to see Jake Fatu versus Solo come out of this? I mean, the sad part of this is you see everybody has a television. Everybody can watch stuff on DVR. So it's not like you have to suspend a whole lot of disbelief to think that Solo won't watch the show afterwards to see what really happened. But I think that's what they want you to believe, which I don't know. I mean, because they're trying to obviously create more dissension within the Bloodline and eventually have, I'm guessing, Fatu versus Solo for, leadership of the Bloodline. But Cody comes out, makes a save for Priest. Priest gets the win and comes out and afterwards and congratulates Priest. So is this setting up Priest winning the Elimination Chamber? It seems like a good foreshadowing move to what might possibly happen. Not a bad SmackDown, not a bad Raw. Like I said, a lot of stuff setting up for Elimination Chamber. A lot of stuff setting up for ultimately WrestleMania. So got some things there. Let's see. As far as that goes, like I said, a lot of stuff going on. I didn't cover in too much detail some of the bus flips, but I'm a little bit shocked and a little bit less shocked about some of them. I'm kind of surprised at how willing Tony Khan is to release some of his guys, but especially without a 90-day clause. That's kind of weird that you would allow Starks to go right to NXT, Has Tony just given up at this point? I don't know. He probably should. But other than that, thank you everybody for tuning in. Close up my laptop here. If you're in the Western Tennessee area, check out Then and Now in Trenton, Tennessee. We've got a booth there. Got a lot of great vendors. Check them out and tell them that Crushing Kayfabe sent you. Prayers and thoughts going out to the people who were hit with tornadoes or devastating wind damage. We had some really, really crazy storms come through the Western Tennessee area yesterday, and it was pretty scary at some point. It was almost like 70 degrees yesterday, and then I woke up to snow this morning, being in the 30s. So we've been getting some real crazy weather fronts coming through. So prayers and thoughts going out to those people. And I know that Milan Highway going into Milan 45W from Trenton was closed off because of water going over and because of a tree that had fallen, I believe. So I've seen a ton of damage that's on. I guess is it Rives was underwater because one of the levees on, and I always screw a name up. Is it the Obion? I want to say Obion River overflowed because of the levee breaking. So thoughts are going out to them. I have a coworker that's about 2 miles from that, and hopefully he's okay. You know, he's run into a bunch of problems lately, but with the cars and whatnot. But hopefully he's okay. Hopefully his family is okay. But yeah, definitely shout out to them. Hopefully they're doing okay. Other than that, you know, check us out on patreon.com. Do a search for Crushing Kayfabe, Crushing with a K. Check us out on crushingkayfabe.com. Once again, Crushing with a K, and that'll give you links to our social media sites, and follow us on Spotify, on YouTube, and once again, just for $1 a month, you can get all the shows ad-free on Patreon. So help us keep the lights on, help us keep doing this, and appreciate everyone that tunes in. Thank you for tuning in, and God bless.